Welcome to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews, and convention panels. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Woo-hoo, we are set, yeah.
Yes. Hello, party people. Welcome.
Ooh, hello there. I just turned on my lights on myself.
Ooh, that's perfect.
There we go. I'm trying to be able to see. Here, we can.
You want to cosplay awesomely and be able to see?
No way, who needs to do both of those things?
Comfort and cosplay? Can they truly be achieved together?
I'm as close as I can get, and like
Here
still
is what
hurts.
my mother always taught me. It is better to look good than to feel good.
Art is suffering.
My mom was a gym teacher, and she taught me if you can't wear sneakers, you're in the wrong outfit. So I have made covers for my sneakers with some of my costumes.
Nice.
Nice. How does wedding dresses fit into that category?
You just have you ever seen a short wedding dress?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen a long one?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
They're just all, and they're not just long. They are
Mm-hmm.
long.
It's true.
long.
It is true.
Yeah.
If
I
you
was
want
just
to wear
hoping you
sneakers
was
or
a
flip-flops, you're gonna have a long dress. That's just, you're not gonna have a short one.
I was just hoping that like she had this sneakers and was doing like back handsprings on the way down the aisle.
You know, I've probably seen a few of those.
Okay, we're gonna give people just another minute or so to kind of trickle in here. I know we're first panel of the day, so not expecting a lot of people to be here.
Pretty exciting stuff.
I know there's not a lot of people here yet, but
First panel of the day, you are the beta testers.
woo! Exactly, I know, right?
This was
We are
all-
the one fire marshal gets called on.
Yeah, this was actually by design by her. She was like, if we get it done quickly, I don't have to go into any more panels.
Exactly. I'm like, no, I'm very much like, let's get this over.
Yeah, she's got money
Then
to
I don't
make.
have to worry about it.
Yeah, she has money to make downstairs. Like, this is us having fun.
Hey, when you gotta be at the booth, you gotta be at the booth.
Exactly, right?
But this is one of the first times I've seen a panel about anything homemade for, you know, actual costumes, not just weapons.
Yeah.
I've seen the digital weapon making or the foam making, but most people don't talk about how you can take a costume and tweak it,
Uh-huh.
or
Yeah.
how you can create from
This isn't
scratch.
cosplay 101.
Yeah.
This is like 102. We're like just
No,
that.
And
I
next-
mean,
this is what I do. None of
Yeah.
my characters are anything anybody's ever heard of, because I create my own.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All
I
original
either take
characters.
regular clothes and alter them,
Yeah,
or I take clothes and mush them together,
for sure.
layer them,
Well, and like
or
truly,
I just create from scratch and pattern.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna just kind of jump into it. So I will start by saying, hello, I am Sapphire. It's nice to meet you guys. I'm Sapphire Nova Cosplay. I have been cosplaying for about 25 years, and truly that's exactly how I started. Was not necessarily my own characters, but like just finding clothes and kind of altering them. You know, when I started cosplaying, we didn't have Amazon, we didn't have, you know, YouTube, we didn't have any of these things that you could just, you know,
Yeah,
3 clicks and buy
Halloween
something. Like, if you didn't have it, you made it.
Yeah.
And so truly over the course of my career, I have made costumes from scratch, like down to nothing was made and I made every tiny little detail of it, to I have bought costumes and just put them on my body and ta-da, we're good to go. And in today's world, there's so many costumes that you can just purchase, and so much like the quality is just getting so high with stuff that you can in 2 clicks buy on Amazon. But it's really fun to be able to, it is, but also to be able to put your own twist on things too.
Yeah, make it yours.
So it's, you know, and then there's a lot of costumes too that are very easy, that are really just, you know, a shirt and pants, but have something special to them. And the big thing that I find with most store-bought costumes, at least, is they're very flat. Like, everything is printed straight onto the material, like all of those things, which of course usually it's how can they make it cheapest, how can they make it fastest. Usually that's flat. And so a lot of, for me, is adding texture to things. Like, I love adding layers or, you know, something 3D about it.
Or all your gems.
Or gems, like,
Super
yeah,
badass
definitely. Like,
stuff.
there's a million and one things you can do to a costume. And especially if you're looking for, like, yours, where they're your own things, you can do what, I mean, the sky is the limit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the fun thing with creating your own. But when you're trying to replicate something, it's kind of a challenge because you are not limited to the drawing, because you can still do a lot of your own things. Like, I'll start since we talked with gems. This guy is a coat. So again,
And
store-bought coat.
You're welcome to come up if you want.
Yeah,
closer
yeah.
look.
Feel free to like get close, or if you want to come take a look at the end, also like that's totally fine. But this is a Charlie cosplay from Hasbin Hotel. Coat 100% purchased. I have done nothing to it as far as alterations, anything like that. I did not make this coat. However, I wanted to make it my own look, and so for me, I love bedazzling. I love sparkles. And I was like, you know, character-wise, Charlie would be a sparkly girl. Like, that is absolutely who she is. And so I was like, it melds perfectly to the character. So adding things like rhinestones, super, super easy. Literally, it takes some gem tack. If you want to get real precise, I use a chopstick with a little bit of braces wax to pick up the gemstone and place each little one on here. And every single one of these was placed by hand.
Now, is it washable?
It is. Yes and no is the answer. I wouldn't put it in a machine, just because sometimes the gem tack is water soluble, so that can take it off. I would just hand wash it either in the sink or use like a vodka spray for this one.
And, as for reference, the character itself from the cartoon, pure red, pure black, just simple straight colors. This is all just artistic.
Yeah,
Liberty.
It looks gorgeous.
But when you come down to, you know, to a lot of things, you're looking at a drawing. For most of the characters we're cosplaying, either animes, comics, you know, all those things, it's a drawing. And most artists are not going to draw every single tiny little detail. They're going to draw a flat drawing. They're going to make it something flat. And some do. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some very detailed things out there. But there's a lot of things that you can kind of put your own twist on things too. Like, I don't like things to be, I mean, I've done my fair share of like, this is a one-to-one representation. And then also my fair share of like, I'm gonna put my own twist on this, and what do I think the character might do? And that is absolutely what this one is like, listen, like, this is not what is drawn, but do I think this absolutely fits Charlie? Yeah, I do.
She would sparkle.
Yes, and then then I've also got little details here. So these little appliques were just a fabric that had like these little brocade material on it that I cut out each a little individual one and then glued it on and used those to stone. Like, again, nothing too complicated, but adds a whole lot of texture, a whole lot of detail, just gives it something more. And that's really what like I look for in a lot of cosplays, is just what can I do that just takes it just to that next level. Like, this costume would have been fine, would have been perfect, would have been beautiful, would have been exactly 100% screen accurate if I had touched nothing. But adding a little bit more makes it my own flair. And that's really like the things that I like to do with cosplays. So that's kind of that guy.
Yes.
Let's throw her back there. Go ahead.
Outside of that, sometimes the simplest solutions are like the best solutions. This guy is literally a Walmart jacket. Like, I got this for like $10, and this is, I think, a bed sheet I got from the Goodwill, like, and furniture foam. So nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
It took me an evening to put it all together, and everyone loves it. I've had like full on armored sets, and people like this more because it's just it's cute. And like
Yeah.
all you need is just a little bit of something. And like a lot of the times, people think you have to buy something expensive to be phenomenal. Sometimes you just need a good idea. Like you
Yeah.
have something like that's a cute idea, that's a fun thing. Here's a little fairy in a box. Here's a floating whatever. Just something to make you pop. And that's enough to make people go, oh, okay, that's like you're putting more effort than most. You're not just
Yeah,
wearing a Spider-Man
exactly.
suit.
Like that's truly it. It's just like that little bit of extra effort. Like another great example here. This is from Toga from My Hero Academia, but like they're soda bottles. Like easy cheesy. She just needed like a bottle pack on her back, and like nothing to. And then this is just a foam wrap around it.
Yeah,
like-
we've done similar things with like jetpacks and things like that. Where
Yeah.
It's like just
Like-
simple, you can buy it anywhere kind of props is one of the best modifications you can do to anything.
Or also these ones, condiment bottles. Like that's all they are, and then just a Google Eye to like seal it off. You can actually still hear the Google rattle. Because yeah, that's totally what those are. But you know,
it makes it
again,
more realistic, you know?
what?
It's a
It makes it
texture.
more realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and you know, and a lot of times too, like a lot of the store bought, again, they're just thrown together as cheaply as possible. So sometimes even just adding your own detailed like props or you know elements to it,
Dimension,
Yeah.
something that's not flat.
again, just adds. Yeah, like I said, if I for anything for me is like I just want to take it away from being flat. Like the more 3-dimensional it can be, I just feel like it just makes everything just better. But yeah, simple little like. I a lot of times just look at the costume and I'm like, okay, what do I see real world that looks like that? And you know, I've used things like I've used snow cone wrappers as like points. You know, yeah, bottle like condiment bottles or like little like spray bottles. Those work a lot of times. I've used a deck of cards as like I've like wrapped it with leather and made like utility belts. That's another great one. Like, yeah, I like a lot of little things like that. I like thinking like, what do I see in the real world that does this thing, and using that.
Right. Also, things like Christmas ornaments, those little
Oh, yeah.
plastic balls, those are amazing for a plethora of things. You can
That's
cut
what
them in
these ones
half.
are.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, that's literally all these are.
It
is
doesn't
Christmas
take
ornaments.
it doesn't take much, and it, like going to like a Walmart and grabbing just simple Rust-Oleum paints that cost
Yeah.
like $4.
However, be
Well-
careful because they dent.
Yes.
Yeah, I found that out the hard way.
One of the other textures she's really
Yeah.
proficient at is actually puff paint, and that's one of those
Yeah.
things that if you like, that's the difference of like you can see it from a distance. It really pops. It really shines.
That is this guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All these crazy spider webs.
Yeah, all of those are puff painted on. Yeah, I love puff paint. Like if you just have like little details or like want to outline something or any of that, like it's another great thing, especially with a lot of like, again, like the screen printed suits, like Spider-Man's are notorious for it. But anything like that that has like something that should be like an emblem, but they screen printed it on, adding like a little puff paint to like the outline of it gives it that appearance that it's 3D without actually having to do anything too special.
We'll get a 3D
But-
printer.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all want a 3D printer, but like, yeah, but like things like this, like that's just something, you know, and a bottle of puff paint is like $2, you know, it's such an easy, simple, cheap way to just add a lot of pizzazz to something that's just, I mean, just very, very simple. It does take a lot of time. Like a lot of these things definitely are time sinks, but what in cosplay is not? Like, let's face it, we're all a little crazy. So are we going to spend, 20 hours sitting here puff painting? Yes, we will.
If you ever want a sign of just how crazy cosplayers are, ask them how long it took them to get into the costume. Not how long it took them to make it, get into it. It takes like 2 hours for everyone. Everyone from like
Right.
a Batman to just a girl wearing a dress. You're like, I don't know, every time.
It's so true. Yeah, but no, like I love puff paint for a lot of things. Yeah, that that's my go-to for, like I said, any kind of thing that's just a very simple. And this again I purchased this, online. It had the black like webs already on it. but it was so flat. It was such a boring design that I was just like, what can I do to make it more? And all I did was just add puff paint. So yeah, it goes a long, long way.
On top of that, her toga right there, this Venom's a good example of it. 2mm craft foam that all those giant sheets, they cost like a couple dollars per sheet. Amazing for adding little extra textures, little bits of distance and stuff. Like her collar right here is a good example.
So this is actually probably actually I think it's a 6mm foam.
A little thicker.
Yeah, it's a little bit thicker.
But
that one's a little harder to come by than the craft foam, but even still, nowadays you can find it at most Michaels, like things like that. I mean, you can definitely order it on Amazon.
But
there's lots of sites that sell it online.
This stuff is my bread and butter. I make belts off of it. I literally made a gun holster out of 2mm just because like you could just shape it right on top of the piece. You can sew with it, you can texture it, you can put fabrics on it. It's like my go-to tool because it's so cheap, it's so malleable, and it kind of works like leather, but like kind of.
Yeah, well, and truly, like,
until it doesn't.
I mean, they generally sell them in pretty large sheets, and they go a long way.
Yeah.
And so if I was to suggest like, oh, it's a little bit more of an investment, but like a 6mm foam, a like more thicker one, and then the 2mm foam, which like these are wrapped into, it's just how thick it is.
Yeah.
So the 2 is much more versatile when you need something like smaller or much more like details, all of those.
You need straps, you need to make like his Superman if you want to make a symbol out of the 2mm, that works really well.
Yeah, like that works really great. But if you need something that has a little bit more of a thickness, I usually go for 6. I know a lot of guys tend to leave more. That's this guy. Yeah, these ones.
Some guys go for 10.
Some guys go for 10 if you want it like.
It turns into a macho match really fast.
But like even this, like this is literally, I took a piece of foam, cut this shape, and glued 2 little gems on there, and now it's a wristband. Like this is easy cheesy, like nothing too fancy or crazy about it.
That adds just a nice little pop to whatever you're working on. Gives you that little.
But it also gave it like just a nice amount of like stiffness, so that when I wear it, like it like stands out properly and stuff like that, so it doesn't flop the way that fabric would. And I've done some where like I wrap this in fabric. Where did it go? I have limited vision here, so like
she likes
anything below me.
Blobs. She has no idea what any of you look like.
I know. I can kind of see some vague shapes out here.
If everyone slowly leaves, you'll never know.
I would just be talking to them too. That would be so funny. Oh my god. No, I can see you guys well enough. I'll know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Don't even think about it. You're stuck here forever with me. No.
Oh, is this the vinyl?
Yes.
Yes.
So another one, if you need something, now this one is a little bit flatter, but if you need like a pattern or design or something like that, it's called iron-on vinyl. They make it for use with a Cricut. However, you don't have to have a Cricut to use it. Let's face it, again, just like the 3D printer, it'd be lovely if we all had Cricuts and, could spend all that money, but...
it'd be nice to have money.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I've done this long enough, I do have all these tools now, but sometimes I still use my scissors.
So, what she's wearing right now, this is white vinyl. She did that all by hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was all,
She did it twice, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, well,
Mark 1,
There's a
Mark
learning
2.
curve.
yeah, exactly. Actually, my problem with the first one wasn't the vinyl, it's I hated everything else about the suit, so I threw away that whole suit. But it happens. But for little like patterns, little details, things like that, like especially a lot of characters have just like weird little designs on things. Iron-on vinyl is a great one if it's like a flat color or something like that. They do also make iron transfer paper if you need like a little decal or something like that that has a lot more like design for it. So that's a great way, because again, most of us don't have access to like embroidery and those kind of things. So just having like an iron transfer paper also works really well. You run it through your printer, print out whatever you need. You need to make sure it's mirrored. But then you can just iron it on and then you have a little pattern. Or like this, you can just cut out whatever shape you need, iron it on, and there it is stuck on. Like it's really well attached to that. And like silly things too, like this was a dickie, like just like a little undershirt, you know, but it was perfectly the shape that I needed for this character, so it was like, yeah, look at that.
Do we need to talk
Sure,
about
we can talk about this one.
the thing that's
Stuck
barely-
underneath everything.
Yeah, barely holding itself together.
Yeah.
This
There's
was
a reason.
prop.
I know. I'm like, there's a reason I bring it as a prop because I don't care about what happens to it. Jack Frost staff. But legitimately, there is some PVC pipe at the center of this, but it is masking tape, wrapped and painted brown. That is it. And then, you know, some like blue paint, and I put some like sparkle paint just to make it look more realistic. But literally, it is nothing more than masking tape. Like, so like, there's a million things you can do with just very, very simple materials. Like, you don't have to spend $1 million when it comes to cosplay. Like, certainly you can, and yes, there's always things you can do to elevate. And truly, all of these things I'm talking about, like, you know, if you're taking, you know, something store-bought, like, I'm not talking competition costumes, like, these are not the ones you compete in. But for most of us, like, just going and having fun at a con, these are exactly the kind of costumes we're wearing. And so being able to just take them and just elevate that little bit, like, just something simple makes a huge difference.
And then again, for the people who've kind of walked in, not at the beginning, you guys can definitely come up and take a look at these things. We'll let you guys look at them afterwards, so you don't have to just squint really hard.
And also, we'll take a moment. Does anybody have any questions so far about anything or any personal projects you're working on? You don't have to ask right now, but maybe be thinking if you have any questions. Well, yeah.
So I just got a Genshin cosplay.
Okay.
It comes with a bunch of little pieces that have all been made to be attached with like just a really basic button pin.
Uh-huh.
And they look really floppy because it's one attachment
Yes.
point. So I want to elevate that, but I don't know how to attach it because the fabric itself is actually really nice
Uh-huh.
instead of just like screen printed garbage.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Garbage that we love. Yeah, so I don't, yeah, I wanted to pick your brain
Yeah,
about that.
absolutely. That's a great question. I mean, there's a couple different ways you can do it. Obviously, I can't see the costume and tell you specifically, but my go-to, a couple things you could do is you could either do like Velcro, where you cover the entire back in Velcro, and then cut out basically the Velcro shape and attach that to the fabric, so that way it like perfectly sits to it.
I will
Good.
caveat that do not get like the cheapest Velcro, get like the double hook Velcro stuff,
Yeah.
because we are oily things. Things do not stay. They never
And also,
do.
I will say, do not get sticky back Velcro. It's the worst. Like, it seems like it'll be a godsend. Like, I can just stick it on and it's done. Except for here's the thing, it never sticks. So it does not help anybody who doesn't want to sew. And then when you do inevitably want to sew it, now it's got all this gummy stuff on the back, so you can't sew through it, or it like gums up your needle. Do not get sticky back Velcro. It is the worst. If you want just like a really easy, cheesy like stick, if you're not like comfortable with like a sewing machine or even like hand sewing, E6000 is a really great material when it comes to fabrics. So especially something like Velcro to a fabric, that one works really, really well. Another you could potentially do, you said because it just has one snap on it, it's kind of floppy. You could potentially move the snaps so they go to either side. So now you have two snaps, so they hold better that way. So you're kind of supporting both ends.
And
That's just kind of my thought, just hearing what you're saying about it.
Are they meant to be stiff, or are they meant to kind of like be form fitting? Like how?
The accessories?
Yeah.
The accessories, are they supposed to be like stiff and stuck on you, or are they supposed to kind of like move with you?
They're supposed to be stiff and stuck to the
Like a pin.
Yeah, it's like a big emblem on the chest and a couple of other like.
Another thing you could do is you can also get like a piece of plastic, something stiff, and cut it to the shape, and then glue that on the back, so you get that stiffness without the flop. That way you can reinforce it. Some people do cardboard, but cardboard's kind of unreliable.
I
Plastic
would-
from like a plastic bin, that type of stuff is really
Yeah,
good.
or like a plastic bottle,
Yeah.
or
Depending on how fancy you want to be.
yeah. But yeah, no, there's a million and one things.
Also, this is super simple. I suck at sewing. I have my ultimate go-to, and you guys are gonna hate this. I staple a lot of my stuff together. It works.
I do need it.
But, you know,
It works. Just it's not ideal for long term, but like it's a good. I don't know what else to do. Staple it.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's looking at the inside of your costume but you, unless you're competing. Again, I say all of this stuff with the caveat of we're not competing with this. This is not like competition costumes. These are just like, I'm having fun at a con and this is the greatest day of my life kind of stuff. But yeah, no. I mean, we a lot of times as cosplayers get so focused on like, everything needs to be perfect and this thing needs to be absolutely... Nobody's looking at the interior of your costumes but you. Like, nobody's walking around on the con floor and be like, look at the seams on this one. Like, it's not how it goes. Like, I'll be the first to admit, my little white piece, it stops right here. Because nobody's gonna see that but me. Like, that's a lot of the things. Sorry, this one hair is in my face. You know, a lot of times we get so hung up on details. And it's like, those things aren't important to most costumes. So if stapling works for you, then power to you. I think that's going to fall apart on you, so I would not recommend it, but, you know.
Don't use the thick stuff, come on.
If it works, it works.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Quick question on gluing and painting foam. Any tips?
Ooh, great
It
questions.
depends on kind of the application. So the reason this guy isn't painted is because I want to be mean to him. I actively will squish him and do all this stuff. If you coated him and painted him properly, I couldn't do that, which means he kind of loses some of the charm. But if you need like a solid armor piece, you can cover these things in like a, what is it, Mod Podge?
You can.
Yeah,
To be honest, my favorite is Plasti Dip when it comes to like foam and just like 27 layers. No, I mean, in all honesty, I really do probably somewhere between 5 to 10 layers, like 5 to 10 full coats. And the more Plasti Dip you put on it, the like more solid it gets and the more it, you know, starts to look just more metally kind of looking.
Yeah.
And then I spray paint it right over top. Or if I need detail paints, like acrylic paints.
Yeah.
Like nothing too fancy.
It all kind of depends on what's in the budget. Like we've all been there, I've all been there, that we've got everything set up to do the proper spray paint, and then suddenly you have no money and no spray paint. So you're looking at, I think I got some acrylic paint from the kids section.
Yeah.
Just like, we're going to use that, and hopefully it works.
Acrylic paints work really well for like detail paints.
Yeah.
And then as far as glues go, my favorite glue that I found working with foam is Barge. It's a contact cement, and it's one of the ones that you have to give it like 20 seconds or so, like apply to each side, give it like 20 seconds, and then like stick it together. It gets a really good it adheres pretty quickly, pretty strongly. I don't know where that went. It disappeared into the ether.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm like, that went beyond where I can see.
It went to her ankles. On that note, just a fun aside, if you want to do snaps on your foams, the best method is like with the Barge, but you will sew the snaps onto like a piece of fabric and then glue the fabric to the foam. That's usually the best method. Gluing snaps right to the foam tends to just pop them right off. So that's something like you learn that the hard way. If you don't.
That is a really great. Other things like this was originally a curtain. It is now a belt. Like, I 100%, I love going to like Goodwill and going to like curtain sections. Like, I don't typically do beddings because usually like sheets and stuff like that tend to fray. But like, I'll also a lot of times look at dresses because dresses have a lot of fabric. Like, again, I don't even have to use it as a dress. Like, I've gone and just been like, thank you, that material is exactly what I need to make a belt. And we'll cut it out. Like, I've absolutely done a lot of it. Like, I've used curtains, I've used table runners, I've used a moving carpet, like a moving blanket. What else have I used? Lots of like sheets. Like this one was like just like a lacy, like table cover. And again, just cut out the little pieces and glued them on, just because I needed a little extra detail.
I will give this caveat. We're in Arizona. This is something you should be aware of. fabrics can be heavy and thick depending on what you do. Curtains, furniture fabrics. I once did a whole night outfit, like 5 layers of furniture fabric. I was out of it in like 30 minutes, okay? So be aware of the environment you're going to be in and kind of also prep according to that. Like we all want to wear full plates of metal. You don't do that in 110 degrees. No one's like, that's a good way to die. Yep.
Is there another question?
Yes, is there another question?
I wanted to add on, I want to promote the Goodwill bins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you can get fabric for much cheaper, and I was avoiding them for a while, but oh my god, they're a godsend.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you in the black shirt?
Yes. Also, there's a special discount day. I would suggest going on Thursday. That's when they do Dollar Thursday.
Yeah.
For clothing with like the special color of the week.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
No, dude, Goodwill, like, keep up on their sales, because there is some great stuff there. Especially right now, all the Halloween stuff is out, like...
She goes every single day. Like
I really do,
I kid you not.
actually.
She'd be like, "Oh, we should go to Goodwill."
I'm like,
and go.
I haven't been to this one in a while. Like,
Yeah, I work at one.
yeah. No,
Although
absolutely.
I'm
I mean, they're a cosplayer's dream. Like, they really are. Like, there's so many just fun and different and funky things. Like, because sometimes all you need is a shirt. All you need is a pair of pants. All you need is that dress for a strip of material. Like, there's just a lot of things that, a lot of times it's cheaper than going to a fabric store and buying a bolt of fabric if all you're using it for is fabric. Like, doesn't matter where it came from.
Oh yeah, I saw somebody like donate. It was like a giant flower. Like I have no idea if it was a prop or if it was a yard thing. I wanted it so bad, and then after 15 minutes, somebody grabbed it.
Oh,
Of
that's so
course.
disappointing.
Every time. It's
Every
like,
time.
"Oh, that's cool. I should come back." No, it's gone.
Speaking of, yeah, my veil here, this was originally a curtain.
And if
Yeah.
you guys can tell, she colored the edges here, but she
Yeah.
also burnt them, so it wouldn't
Yeah.
fray. That's one of the tricks to get around fraying is you literally just hit it with like
But
a lighter.
always test an unseen corner because different materials do different things when you burn them. So please do not put your whole house up in flames or your whole project. What?
Please do it outside.
Yeah. Or, with, water handy is
My
also.
son was trying to burn the edges of a shirt to make it look like the character had gone through a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh.
He had the barbecue lighter, so he was standing away from it, touched the shirt, and boom!
Uh-huh.
That's how quickly it went up.
Yeah, for sure.
We've had
You know,
very similar
It
experiences.
was on a metal hanger hanging off the clothesline in the backyard, so it was safe.
On
Yeah.
springboarding off of that, one thing that does happen with a lot of costumes, especially if you buy them through Amazon or something, colors don't come in right. I bought myself a red trench coat. Thought it was going to be great. Came in orange. Well,
It was very clearly orange.
very clearly orange, and this character is this color red. Like
Uh-huh.
it's just a deep red. Like how do you get around that? Do you dye it? Do you do anything? I went to the hardware store and found red metallic paint. Like I literally just sprayed it, and it did wonders because one, it gave it like inconsistency, so it made it look weathered and burnt and stuff like your son was going after. And two, it just kind of darkened the whole thing,
Yeah.
made it the nice blood red you wanted it to be, and just. You'll see it tomorrow. If you see us around, you'll see me with it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
So we're
fantastic
at
solutions.
Artist Alley 207 if you want to stop by my booth there.
Yep.
But yeah, you can definitely come by and see the coat he's talking about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Another one here. Speaking of dyeing fabrics. Sorry, she's a long girl. That did not do anything I wanted it to do. This was all hand dyed. But I dyed it in gradients. So I spent the least time dyeing all of it, then a little bit less, and then a little bit less, and then all the way down to the bottom. So that it kind of had that gradient down. And then, honest to God, I Sharpied the edge of every little bit of this. And this was just a wedding dress. I bought this at Goodwill. Yay, Goodwill! But rehemmed the lines. I took the lace from I think it had sleeves or something like that at the beginning, and I took the lace from that and used them to build out the a little additional line, so it really kind of gave that color. But a lot of wow from just something that was so simple before. And I mean, it was a beautiful wedding dress before, but it wasn't Corpse Bride. And so yeah, fabric dye a lot. They make RIT dyes. And you can, if you want to dye like a whole fabric, you can very easily do it in like a washing machine, something like that. Or this one I had to dye in a giant tub. Like I used a big old tote, and I had a big stick, and I was stirring it like it was my cauldron.
Also, Goodwill has a bunch of really cheap pans or really cheap pots. Just grab one of those. Like, they don't care, we don't care.
Don't use your parents' pots and pans. Because usually it doesn't stain, but, you know, you don't want it to be that one time it does.
I was going to say, if you're going to do it in the washing machine, run a couple rinse cycles through the washing machine before you launder the rest of your clothes.
Yeah. For the most part, it really is pretty good about not carrying from machine to machine, but every machine is different. And so that's always a good like rule of thumb anyway, just to be safe that you don't ruin any of your clothing. But a lot of times it does cycle out after the first cycle. And I promise, as scary as it seems, like dumping dye into your washing machine, it really is okay if you follow the directions. And RIT is very good about like walking you through step by step.
On that note, experiment. Try everything.
Yeah.
One of the most fun things I've had is like accidentally coming across something like, oh, I burned fabric and it made this really cool finish. I don't need it for that. This project's ruined. But like 2 projects after that, I could use that. That's great. Like everything compounds on itself in this hobby, in this.
It's true. You
everything
you
always
really
builds
never
up.
know what it is you need until you need it.
Yeah.
And so that it really is a great thing. Like a lot of cosplay is just experimentation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might fail, sometimes you might succeed, sometimes you might fail in a way that succeeds. Like that's just the great thing, and playing with it, you know, getting used to it. But honestly, even just starting with a base costume and working on just a piece of something, making just a little bit of your own, just leads to that. Now next time, okay, I know how to work with that material. I know how to do that. Maybe next time it makes it a little bit easier. Maybe next time you can try a little bit more. And all those things really help get your confidence as you grow, and it really helps you grow as a cosplayer. I think one of the greatest downfalls a lot of cosplayers face is we try and go too big too soon. Let's face it, we all see the giant costume and we're like, that's the thing I want to do. Except for that's not realistic when it's your very first cosplay. Like, it's not the reality. And what happens is a lot of us bite off way more than we can chew. We end up getting frustrated, and then we quit. And that's why, like, I think things like this, where you take something and just alter and learn those skills. And as you get more and more confident, you can do more and more things. And then before it, maybe you're making costumes absolutely from scratch. Maybe now you're entering the cosplay contest. Like, all of these things help build you to that next level. But it's great, great, great stepping stones.
Also, don't just modify it one time. Go back 2, 3, 10. Who cares? The costume is never done. It's only ready for the con.
Oh, for sure. I can't even tell you how many
Ready
times.
for today.
Yeah, it's like
It's literally like, where is it today? Okay, that's great. Like
this girl is a great example. She doesn't have a costume like tomorrow. She's going to be doing Lady Death. She has at least 20 variations of that same costume. Like
Yeah.
she changes it out like it's a Barbie doll. She's like, okay,
don't
I
get
can't
me
like
wrong.
this and that.
So this is the second time I've worn this costume, and already, like, between the last 2, like I said, we already redid all this. I redid the entire bodysuit. Like, I'm already like, okay, I'm gonna change this thing. I'm gonna tweak that thing. Like, I'm already thinking about the next version. Like, it's definitely not where I want it to be. Like, there
it's
really
better
is
than it
no
was.
such thing as like done when it comes to cosplayers. Like, we are always like tweaking.
Yeah.
It's really only done when you decide, you know what, I think I'm over this costume, maybe it's time to retire it. Like, that's pretty much the only time it's done.
It is 3 o'clock.
We got 10 minutes.
All right. So we got about 10 minutes left. Do we have any major questions for everyone? Did anyone want to come up and kind of check out some of the stuff we have? Yeah.
So I want to do a costume for Halloween, which is like a flower seller, but she's possessed by a flower.
Ooh.
And I don't know what to do for the vines, because I want there to be like vines around my hair and like down my shoulder.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to use to make those.
Oddly enough, a really cheap one you can use is if you go get some pool noodles. Those things you can cut really well, and if you hit them with like any sort of heat, they shrink, and you can give them like. I've used them before for like wooden vines. Like I did a whole Thor axe hammer using that method, and you can just sit there and heat it and kind of just get exactly how you want, and then you just paint it whatever color you want it to be. That's a really cheap one, but there's a couple other routes.
Yeah,
too.
there's a lot of different routes you can go. They also make like EVA foam dowels, like just like, you know, circular tubes that you could very easily, you know, wind and stuff like that. If you want them a little bit thinner, they make like floral wire that you can bend and like twist how you want. Those are nice because they maintain their shape.
And it also depends on like how possessed by a flower do you want to be? Do you want to be like zombie levels, or do you want it just like the first stages, like it's coming up? Like, cause a combination of foam and makeup will do most of that work for you, where you can have like something like this, something nice and simple, and then something thicker on top of it.
I was gonna say, honestly, again, if you want just kind of easy cheesy, taking like masking tape and just like twisting it so it like all balls up. I would kind of like try and get it so you get as much of like the sticky to like itself, basically.
Yeah, don't want that.
But like I said, that's essentially what I did here. But I just wouldn't put the inner, like this has a PVC pipe in it to give it some thickness. Like I would just twist it, and that would give you a lot of vines for very cheap.
And then if you get
and then just paint him green, whatever.
Also, if you
might even be able to find
if you get your hands on some ropes, those will also work. Depending on like what kind of rope and string, that works for a lot of those same reasons, because you can unveil it and unwind it a little bit, so you can give a little more chaos to it.
Yeah.
Right. Also, hot glue. This is all hot glue strand. That's nothing special. Like that works if it's not on your skin. You're probably okay.
Yeah. I will say I'm not the hugest fan of hot glue when it comes to like an adhesive material, because it does tend to fail a lot.
Yeah, Arizona.
You
look at the sun, it melts.
Like, it's not the greatest for a lot of things. It does have its merit, and I will say I use a lot of hot glue when it comes to like adhesive, as like a like placeholder. Like I'll use a more permanent glue, like an A6000 or a Barge, and then just like a touch of hot glue just to like hold it while the other one has time to adhere. I like using that, but hot glue is a great one for like, again, texture. Like just adding some detail. You can paint over it, you can do all that. So it's really nice if you just need a little bit extra. It kind of works in a very similar vein as like the puff paint. So that's another really great one to give some things some texture.
Yeah. Also, you can use it for like weird things. Like you can, because it melts at a relatively low temperature, like 200 is relatively low. You can actually get those silicone molds and put hot glue in there and make like diamonds and stuff out of hot glue.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done like flowers out of them, or like if you just need like little like filigree little, you know, pieces like.
And the best part about it, it's cheap. It's so cheap, and you can be mean to it.
Yeah. Well, and you can, you know, make a lot. Like you can just buy one silicone mold and just pop lots out. Like, you know, fill the next set, pop them out, do it again. Like, it's really great if you need a lot of like similar pieces like that. Yeah. Those are really great.
And I'm a big believer in making stuff that you could be mean to. I'm a bull in a china shop. If I don't make my stuff Nintendo tough, it's not going to last. So it's like if you can find something that you know you can like break, you can take it to the limit, you can break it in every time, you don't have to be delicate with it.
Yeah.
That changes a lot. That means you can be a little more obnoxious with your costumes. You can be a little more flashy, and you can be a little more grand without it saying.
Well, it's easier for things like hacking, all of those things for sure.
Yeah.
Any last questions? Yeah, feel free if you guys want to come up and check it out.
Yeah, and then. Final little tip, black washing, which you can look at this red leather on the weapon here. Black washing, that's a really good way of just adding a little bit of personality, a little bit of texture with very little effort.
So you can see
And bring out all the goodnesses.
Yeah, just bring
this
it
guy
out.
was 3D printed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She wanted it smaller originally, and then she looked at it, she's like, no, 3 feet.
To like show off to here. The base is made out of purple insulation foam, a little bit of expanding foam, and just some like
twist wire.
yeah,
It was built
like,
to be packed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's the true cosplay in there. It's built to be packed.
So that's just a little bit of puff paint.
Oh, and then before I forget, little gizmos and gadgets go wonderful.
It is,
I
yeah.
have. Squeaky toys. That's just a little thing. It's like it doesn't like it costs like 50 cents. No one cares, but like it's just enough to make people go.
Those are just like long little.
Layers and layers.
Yeah. Like I said, those are condiment bottles.
And if you feel the edges here, you can actually feel the brush marks on
Yeah.
it, which is.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes the
Yeah,
textures
soda
are
bottles.
just there for you because like you like to feel like it's like yeah this feels good. It's
Yeah.
like-
But there you can see a little difference between what was screen printed and what was hand painted. So you can see the two different types of flowers on there. I think it's turned the right way. Like one is just very flat and basic. Like between, yeah.
And then this is what a vinyl kind of feels like by comparison. Vinyl's a lot of fun. If you can figure out how to like take advantage of it, you can do a lot of really cool stuff because you can put vinyl on top of vinyl, so you can do like multiple colors, multiple patterns.
Or have an iron or something.
So irons, yeah. If you don't have an iron, there's a couple routes to do it, but an iron's like go online to Amazon, $15.
Yeah. I also would use like a flat iron, like a
Yeah.
hair styling tool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more challenging because then you have to have access to both sides of it, so you can't lay it where you want to.
If you want to be obnoxious, the best way I've ever seen someone without an iron to do it is they literally put a cookie sheet in the oven.
Yeah.
They would like mitts and go.
There's different ways
Like,
of
don't
doing
do that. It's not the smartest way of doing it, but it is like if you don't have any tools, you can make the tools happen. Like you just need something hot and flat.
Yeah.
Just put it on your dashboard in a car.
Yeah.
The gift of Arizona.
Yes. Also, like again, be aware of Arizona
So
heat.
those are made of EVA
Dress
foam,
accordingly.
but these are covered
Prop
in a
make
material called
accordingly.
Epsilon, which is like a 2-part epoxy. So that's a little bit more expensive to use. That's why I haven't got it too much here, but it does give it a really nice like shine and hardness.
Cool, huh?
And if you guys had any crazy ideas or like I've had this dream idea of how to do it, how do I go about it? Don't be afraid to come and ask us. Ask another cosplayer. We all want to share it. We're very excited about this stuff.
Cosplayers
so
are not
much for coming.
gatekeepers.
And yeah, if you guys don't, I'm Sapphire Nova Cosplay, so feel free to ask questions. Like I said, if you guys want to come stop by the booth, talk a little bit more about any specific projects, like please feel free to stop by. We are always happy to help.
We're a straight shot right from the elevator, so you won't be able to miss us.
Yeah, we're like straight down the center aisle.
I actually used Sparkle Elmer's glue.
Yes,
Oh,
To do
yeah.
the same thing
Yeah,
on the fairy
absolutely.
wings that I'll be wearing tomorrow.
Yes,
Ooh,
yeah.
you gotta come by and show us.
But
You gotta see
I've been
it.
using puff paint since they invented it.
That's
It's old in the
awesome.
80s, so.
Yeah.
It's so useful.
Yeah.
It
It's
absolutely
getting
is.
harder to find, but it's really, but the thing is you can now use some of the Elmers in the same way.
Yeah.
If what you're wanting is the sparkle,
Yep.
because they are now tinting some of the glue.
I know,
So
yeah.
it's not just clear, it might be clear with a green tint. Or
People are using it instead of piping nowadays
Yeah.
too. Like that's
Yeah.
if you have a steady enough hand, you can use it instead of piping for some choices.
Yeah,
So-
and as long as you can trace the lines,
Yeah.
then you can
Yeah,
make
it's
your
just
hand
about a
steadier.
steady hand.
Yeah, that's a hard trick. Don't sneeze.
Or at least allow yourself a very big leeway.
Yes.
Yeah.
lots
Same
of-
allowance is a thing.
That's
Yes.
right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you all
Thank
so
you
much
guys.
for coming.
Where were you again in article?
We are at AA 207.
So if you know where the center of it is, where the elevator is, that goes straight down, it's just go right down that hallway and the aisles and you'll come across
Can
it.
you pull up the suitcase? 'Cause we need to get it going.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. If you enjoyed our show, please check out D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Ragnarok Enroll a Scion Hero to Ragnarok Story. Also, check out our Patreon page for more content and behind-the-scenes things, as well as joining us for a one-shot game or two.